Welcome back, everybody. Today is day 11 of 21 days anti-aging protocol to awaken your inner lioness. And as I always tell you, I always invite you to share something of value you created, you got, that was part of this training. Maybe it's something as simple as getting inspired. Maybe it's something simple to gain clarity. Maybe it's something as simple as getting back in action. Whatever it is that you accomplished out of your participation here that has made a difference for you this week, because I would love to hear from you and letting me know what you're feeling. And so I invite you to also let us know where you're tuning in from, and that's basically it. You just can do that for me. I'm going to go ahead and share in the group where we're going live so everybody can tune in and participate live if they want to. And today we're talking about energy, and so it's going to be a powerful live talking about energy and the impact in our everyday life. So I invite you to make yourself comfortable, get a little drink, relax, sit back. I'll finish putting the post here and we're going to go ahead and get started. Some of you I know are tuning in live, and so I invite you to just say hi, introduce yourself, and share something before we go into the material. So the links are shared. We are all ready to go. And we've been talking a lot about hormones, and hormones are key for us, for human beings, but mostly for women. And in the time of menopause, they tend to get misaligned, they tend to have an impact, and we need to kind of intentionally bring them back to balance. Because some of you expressed with me that your goal is anti-aging, right? You don't want to age. Some of you told me that your goal is um, fat loss. And in either one of them, it is important that we really find the balance. Hi, Beth. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here live. And so it's important that in all cases, whatever your goal is, that as a woman, you pay attention to how your body is feeling and pay attention to all the side effects that could be present, all the characteristics, all the discomfort and unusual things that you start experiencing when you go through menopause. I share some of the things that I used to experience when I started with perimenopause. In the physical aspect, it was hard time falling and not falling asleep, but staying asleep. Um, like the hot flashes was a big one, irritability, lack of focus. Um, and it was really hard for me to figure it out. A little more belly fat, that was never the case, and so it took me a little bit of time to figure it out how to balance my sugar levels, balance my hormones, lose the weight, keep the weight off, and eliminating pain, discomfort, and all these side effects of menopause. And so today, what we're talking about is specifically energetics in the body. And so I share a little bit about, my studies, but basically, other than being a personal trainer and a hands-on healer, Reiki master specifically, I have a lot of training in yoga. And so yoga uses the centers of energy, which we commonly call chakras, um, as a way to explain energy in a way that is more comprehensible. Some of us understand about energy, get a sense of what it means, but a lot of people don't understand what we mean when we talk about energy. Now, energies impact us regardless of whether we understand or not. And let's talk a little bit about what do I mean with energy and how does energy impact us? How can we make it so that we have more energy, so that we're not dragging, that you're not overwhelmed, burned out, stressed out, and all the things that commonly show up, especially when you're not doing anything to contrarrest the typical side effects and characteristics of being around the menopause years. And so, why is it that you're tired all the time? Some of us wake up early. That's my case. But some of you might just sleep in and never have enough sleep, and you feel like you're always tired. For me, I wake up no matter what around 5 a.m., 5:15, 5:30, the latest. my body just wakes up. Whether I'm tired or rested, it's irrelevant. My body just wakes me up. And so if I don't go to bed early enough, or if I didn't have enough rest, or whatever the case might be, it leaves me in a place where I'm awake and I'm wired, but I'm tired at the same time. Because I'm fully awake. It's not that I can go back and get more sleep, but it also has this sensation of being heavy, tired, drained, exhausted, burned out. And it's very common around those years. And so tonight we're going to uncover the truth that many people or many women never hear, which is being exhausted is not your identity, but it is a signal. It's a signal that your body is giving you that you need to pay attention. You need to start kind of tuning into that it's not a coincidence. Your body is actually expressing itself. It's giving you a hint. It's giving you a warning. It's giving you a red flag saying, hey, we are here and we are not feeling all that great. And we tend to push through because we're busy, multitasking, spread thin, we've got a lot on our shoulders. Whatever the case might be, we push, 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 and then we get to that breakout point, which is burned out, being exhausted, many times feeling lost and or resigned about many things, and we feel like we have no energy, the battery is at the bottom line. There's no recharging that battery. You just feel exhausted. And so it's important, especially as somebody who is committed to make a difference in the world, who's committed to leave a legacy behind, to make a difference, that you don't leave it all on the court and that you don't leave enough for yourself. And without even going there, we should be replenishing and filling out our own cup before being out there trying to save the world. So, especially when you're somebody who wants to make a difference, who wants to make an impact, who wants to leave a legacy, and you're always doing something that is a representation of the difference that you are going to make in this world, that you always have your cup full, that you're not approaching those from a place of effort or spreading yourself thin or doing too much to the point that you're abandoning yourself and you forget about your self care or you don't make it as much of a priority as it should be. So your body is constantly communicating with you. When you understand what it's saying, you can begin to restore your energy instead of simply surviving each day or feeling exhausted, burned out, or whatever can show up when we go, 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 and we don't pay attention. So, in regards to energy, specifically, the first thing that's important is something that we talked about yesterday, which was part of the belly fat, and it was we talked about it the day before, which was part of hormones, which is balancing your blood sugar. Most times we don't pay attention to the metabolic impact of sugar consumption. Sometimes we have our sugars be impacted by nutrition, by stress, by being tired, whatever case might be. And so we have to start being mindful of how are our sugar levels working or not working and try to do everything in our power to be able to keep it down. What does it mean? Or balance. What does it mean is not overeating the things that we know trigger your sugar increase, minimizing it by maybe going for a little walk after you eat so that you can even out the sugars and being aware, being cognizant, being responsible, being accountable for the things that you're putting in your mouth as well as the environment that you're living. If you're constantly burning yourself down to the ground, doing too much, spreading yourself and not taking a break, not having fun, not having downtime, this is going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem because your insulin, when it gets out of whack, it's not that it's as easy. And when you have the cortisol in addition to the insulin kind of getting out of balance, then it takes much longer or it's more intricate for us to put all these things in place. So if we can prevent that sugar from spiking up by keeping our nervous system full, by eating the right things, by hydrating ourselves, insulin is also really impacted by the lack of water. If we are dehydrated, then we're going to have higher sugar levels. And it is important that we are mindful of that. Most people do not pay attention to how much water they're drinking. And if you have issues with blood sugar balancing or levels, it is important that you stay hydrated. And so that is the first part of this process. So it says every time your blood sugar spikes and crashes, your energy follows. Your energy goes up and it peaks, and then it goes into the valley, and then up and peaks, and then it goes into the valley. And you're going to feel it in your focus levels. You're going to feel it in your irritability. You're going to feel it on your energy levels, your desire to do things, your response to certain things that you need to address, all those things is going to be noticeable. So what can we do is choose protein, healthy fats, fiber, whole foods to create that steady energy throughout the day instead of relying on sugar and caffeine. Many of us don't eat for many hours, and then of course your body's going to be craving fast sources of sugar and carbohydrates so it can give you a little jump of energy. So the body is very wise in the sense of it's going to ask you for the thing that is going to give you the biggest pick me up. What is going to be the biggest pick me up is sugar. But the problem with sugar is you go up and you increase the insulin and then you crash and you feel really crummy. And then you get the impact also of the cravings, which is really hard to counteract. So to the extent that you can keep the sugar low, it makes a huge difference in instead of having to manage it after it went up. And all the things that we talked about will make a difference in keeping that steady blood sugar, which is equal to energy, right? So steady blood sugar equals to steady energy instead of the up and down and this roller coaster that we're in when we have the sugar all over the place. The second one point for today is going to be prioritizing restorative sleep. So it's not enough that you go to bed and you fall asleep. It's also important that you can stay asleep, that you sleep deeply, and that kind of sleep, when it's deep and you are able to stay asleep, take us to the REM, the REM kind of sleep, which is the one that is self-healing. It helps us repair our body. It helps change the environment inside of the cells, and it is conducive for us to not feel the effects of aging as much, minimizing the impact on aging. And so the sleep is something that we should be really protecting. And it's not, our society is not conducive to us being able to fall asleep, stay asleep, because we live overstimulated. So our nervous system is always kind of like going, 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 going. When you go to sleep, turning that going, 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 going off could be a challenge. And what I recommend is really using a routine, a bedtime routine that you can start developing, maybe reading a book, maybe taking a shower, maybe having some tea, maybe writing in a journal, whatever it is, needing a little yoga, a little breath work, a little movement, whatever it is that you want to do, so that you can start winding down. I usually in my house, I close the windows, I dim the light, kind of keep the noises a little bit lower. I tend to disconnect from devices as much as I can. I don't own a TV in the living room in my house. There's no TV in my room. There's no TV. So I try to stay away from things that stimulate me, such as news or drama or action or things like that, that can kind of keep you awake and alert or interested in a plot of a movie or whatever it is that you're doing. But being able to disconnect from devices and social media specifically, or anything related with the news, is key for you to be able to regulate your nervous system, wind down at night, feel better and more prepared to that relaxation time that's in sleep. So quality and quantity of sleep starts increasing to the extent that you can start doing those 2 hours of abstaining yourself from the devices and starting with that winding down sleep routine, kind of like little kids do, the shower, and then eating, and then reading a book, and then going to sleep, right? If you had kids, you know the routine, the bedtime routine that they do. We should keep up with that. And our life, many times, our lifestyle doesn't really support that kind of intentionality with creating that routine, slowing down, soothing our nervous system, going to sleep at a decent time, getting enough hours of deep, relaxing sleep. And many times we're just always overstimulated, so we wake up, we feel alert, we're not able to sleep deeply, and the quality of sleep is affected because we're overstimulated and stressed out, and there's no winding down at night. So meditation, breath work, yoga, movement, all these things are going to help you, as well as connecting with nature or connecting with the things you love, hobbies, pets, kids, significant other, elderly parents, people that you love in your life will all help you with feeling a little bit more regulation in the nervous system, as long as there are people that you enjoy being around. And so that will make a difference at all times. So sleep is a luxury, is one of the most important anti-aging tools that you can have. While you sleep, your body repairs tissues, balance hormones, and regulates cortisol, restoring your brain. So creating a calming nighttime routine and aiming for consistency and quality sleep, your body will heal while you rest. Okay, that's what that's about. Point number two. Then point number three, it's really using nutrition to your advantage in many different ways. The first one is when you eat enough healthy fat, you're usually more satiated. You're not craving so many crazy sugars and carbohydrates. That in turn helps you keep the insulin level, not having this up and down, chaotic energy all over the place, increasing the insulin, dropping, and then feeling crummy and all these things. So it is important that when we think of eating, we think of nourishing our body, eating the best kind of quality of food. Hopefully, you can start focusing on whole foods instead of junk food. You can prepare from scratch versus buying something that is ready to go. You can take the time to do the shopping that includes the variety, the different colors, the different nutrients, and make it a balanced meal to the best of your ability. The drinking of water is key. So half of your body weight in ounces of water is going to be the right amount of water to drink. And for some of you, that might seem like a lot because you haven't been drinking water. And it is important that you start kind of including the adequate amount of water, because it's also going to help us with detox. It's going to help us with sugar balance. It's going to help us with energy level, better focus, less irritability. All those things are benefits of the the water at the minimum level that you should be drinking versus being dehydrated. When we're dehydrated, we start feeling thirsty. We're already dehydrated. So then we have to drink water, wait until it takes effect. And in the meantime, we feel low energy, irritability, lack of focus, and cravings up the wazoo because we think we're craving sugar or carbohydrates, but really the body's telling you I'm dehydrated, giving you the first warnings of being dehydrated. And so it's important that you start paying attention to the cues and you don't misread the cues by eating food when all you need is a cup of water. And that's very common. And I talk to my clients all the time about that, not to misread the signal. So many women are running on empty because they're deficient also in essential nutrients. I share with you my personal case. So low levels of vitamin D, magnesium, vitamin B, iron, and other nutrients can contribute to fatigue, brain fog, poor mood, and low motivation. So feeding your body what it needs to thrive is going to be a good way to contrarrest and or address the concern of low nutrients. For me specifically, pre-diabetes was a direct link with low vitamin D. And so as soon as I address the concern of low vitamin D, as well as the movement, the exercise, eating right, resting enough, all the things that I was doing to balance the sugars, then I was able to manage it because I stay on top of it. I ate the right thing, minimize the up and down with the sugars, and it's going to be key that you also take some sort of supplementation to address concerns of, some nutrients or vitamins that you need that might not come naturally from the foods that you eat. And if you don't cook from scratch and you buy the ingredients and different colors and different things, that might very well be the case. And I invite you to just be mindful of that to the best of your ability. Start thinking of that, paying attention to it, noticing, and not act like it doesn't impact you because nutrition deficiencies would impact us in a way that we feel tired, lack of focus, irritability, cravings, bad sleep. And so it's important that we pay attention. So feeding your body what it needs to thrive, and you can expect high energy from undernourished body. So if you're eating fast food all the time, if you're not eating enough, if you're overdoing the sugars or the unhealthy fats, then it's going to be a problem because the energy level is going to tank. And so let's go into the affirmation for today. My body is designed for vitality. Every healthy choice I make restores my energy, nourishes my body, and awakens the vibrant woman within me. And we have to step into the new identity. The identity of the lioness is courageous, action based, hopeful, um, powerful, present. All these things are characteristics. So you have to step into that new version of you. You have to step into that with courage, believing that you can actually make the change. You can actually address the concern. You can actually cause feeling better with your body and not feeling stuck, not feeling like you're exhausted, drained, burned out, that you don't know how to take care of yourself, that you don't feel good and you feel bad putting more self care in place because you feel like it shouldn't be, or if you do it, then maybe you're not going to be there for your kids, for your significant other, for your boss, whatever else might be. And so I invite you to really put it in as a way to, um, make sure that you are empowering yourself. That new identity, that new mindset, that new declaration is going to be key for you to be able to be empowered and to stay strong and not give up when you're trying to accomplish something. So I want to know if anybody has any questions, any comments, anything you want to share from the training. I'll be happy to further answer or discuss whatever it is that is, present with you. But we're going to go into the homework. And so the homework for day 11 today is going to be for the next 24 hours, become an energy detective. What does it mean? We're going to observe with curiosity and write down what time you feel the highest energy, what time you feel the most tired, what time you ate before each energy shift. So we're going to start making the links. Number one, there's a routine that's ideal for you. We call those routines based on circadian rhythm. Some of us wake up very energized. Some of us function better at night. And so based on our circadian rhythm, we might be a morning person or an evening person. And it is important that we start understanding, am I a morning person? Am I an evening person? When is better for me to do movement, workout? In the morning or in the evening? How can I make sure that I do that on a regular basis in the times that is best for my body versus trying to force an outcome, going against the grain, forcing my body to perform a certain way or not really paying attention to the hints and the messages that my body is emitting. So being in tune, paying attention, honoring the request when you feel a certain way, trust that it is the body telling you what you need. So asking those three questions in addition to these two questions that I'm going to go over now. How many hours you slept last night? I think I slept like 5 hours personally. I work out, I eat right, I go to bed, all these things, and 5 hours seems to be enough for me. Sometimes I wake up tired. Like this morning, I wasn't so tired, but when was it? Yesterday. I woke up really tired. And then I took a nap later on in the day. So making sure that you are addressing the concerns. If you're able to take a break, downtime, go connect with nature, increase your energy through doing the things that bring you pleasure, that connect you with yourself, with your soul, with your purpose, with your mission, versus go, 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 and paying attention to everything else and everybody else and not paying attention to the little whisper behind your ear that gives you a sign on what your body is needing, that it will be ideal if you were to address and or be proactive about versus resign, cynical, ignoring it, and all the things that we normally do when we're really busy. So at the end of the day, we're going to ask ourselves, what is my body trying to tell me? Don't judge yourself. Don't try to be perfect and simply become aware. Listen, pay attention, notice, slow yourself down and wait for the input because your body will tell you. And that because of that awareness is the first step into transforming and connecting with yourself in a way that you can empower yourself versus feeling that sense of on the verge of burnout or kind of frustrated, wiped out, and that many times it makes us feel resigned, cynical, wanting to give up. And so, not getting to that point of the extreme, slowing ourselves down before we are there, assessing, addressing, and not overlooking and ignoring, which is normally what we do. But approaching it from a place of grace and being patient with ourselves and celebrating our wins versus being perfect and being so demanding of ourselves because when we raise the bar so high, we tend to fail and meet it, and then we're never celebrating ourselves because we're making ourselves wrong. We're beating ourselves up. We don't believe in ourselves. So sometimes we have to raise the bar a little bit, but not so high that we cannot reach it. So we can celebrate the win. We can actually pat ourselves in the back for having accomplished something specific that we wanted to accomplish. So creating those small wins, and I've been through this before sharing it with you, creates synergy, self confidence, momentum, self trust. And so it's important that every time you get a little win, pat yourself in the back, celebrate, and you reward yourself. And so your body will start giving you more of the wins. If you overlook the win, if you don't celebrate the difference, if you don't pat yourself in the back, acknowledging and recognizing your effort and results, then your body and you're not going to be able to reproduce that sensation because it's like it didn't matter either way. It didn't make a difference. So acknowledging the new outcome based on our efforts and the journey we've been on and patting ourselves in the back, taking a moment to acknowledge the outcome, the effort, the commitment, the discipline is so key for us to create that momentum that we've been building in this 21 days. So at the end of the day, as we said, what is my body trying to tell me? Don't judge yourself. Don't try to be perfect. Just simply become aware. And then what I ask you to do is after completing your homework, share your biggest insight inside of day 11 of the homework post. And your story could inspire another woman that to begin to listen to her body and reclaim her energy, as well as not feeling alone. Sometimes we feel like we're the only ones dealing with a side effect of menopause or a feeling, sensation, experience and we feel very lonely in that process. And so we have to be able to connect with other people and notice that we're not the only ones dealing with a certain issue and being able to empower each other, being in community, patting each other's back, lifting each other up, and just being supportive. When we are isolated, when we're not connected with people, it's so much harder for the way we feel. It makes us feel so alienated. And so getting community, get committed, take little steps, celebrate, all those things will make sure that you have higher levels of energy and mostly that the energy is traveling up. It's like upward motion instead of downward motion. Sometimes we get mopey, we complain, we feel like victims. We wonder why me? Why again? How come this happened? What did I do? And we're being in this spiral going down because we are the victim. We didn't do it. What happened? We wonder. We waste a lot of energy trying to figure it out. It is what it is. Sometimes in life, that's the way it's going to be. But you being intentional to have this conversation go up by keeping yourself empowered, keeping yourself aware, making the changes that makes a difference, staying disciplined, focus, consistency. With consistency will be a much better way to accomplish your results. And so I got some feedback yesterday that I'm giving you too much homework, too much information, and all that stuff. And I always appreciate feedback because I meant to make this training super simple. And I get that for some of you, it's a lot because we're always busy. And my invitation to you is that you take your time because you're going to have 11 more days and you can do the homework at a later time and you can still win a free session. And it doesn't need to be this rush, 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 make myself wrong, beat myself up. I'm behind. Now I'm feeling hopeless and all that stuff. Give yourself space. This is free training that has all the replays available until very last day. You'll be able to catch up if you take the time to do so. And if you're too busy that you're not able to participate, few of you told me XYZ happened, I'm not going to be able to participate. Feel free to remove yourself from the group. I don't take it personal. I don't get upset. There's nothing that is going to offend me about you getting yourself out of the group if it is overwhelming and it is not the right time for you to participate. But we're going to keep on going live. We have 10 more days. Today is day 11, 10 whole other days for us to discuss what is it going to take to awaken your inner lioness and using all these things that we've been sharing away as a way to prevent that aging process. Last but not least, I'm going to invite all the ladies that are part of the training that are catching up, that are doing their homework, that are trying to stay afloat and do all the things I'm asking. Don't demand so much from yourself. You have time, but really go back to the homework for the last few days and at your shares. You still can win a free session from the older share. It's important you do the homework because that's the best way for you to get value out of your participation. And sometimes we tend to listen and be observant and distant versus getting ourselves in action. What I want you to do is get yourself aware, but then continue with action so we can create that discipline and consistency, which ultimately is going to create the results. Just dipping little toe there and little toe there and maybe doing this one day, but 3 days not doing it will not bring about the results. And so I think with that, we complete the day for today. If you have any questions, comments, anything you want to share, let me know. Reach out to me, message me, post it in the group, post it in here, wherever you want. And I'm available to kind of help you out with that. The other thing is people that won the free session, I would love for you to claim the spot before the end of the week so that we can book it for next week. Some of you have been messaging me. Some of you already are booked for this week or early next week. Please help me out with that because I am doing a lot every day. I'm messaging you, I'm doing the events, I'm coming live, I'm posting the homework, all the things. And if you want to take advantage of it, don't hesitate, don't be shy. Reach out to me, let me know, hey, can we book for next week, this day, that day? Give me a few options so that I can choose one, send you a link, and we'll meet. We'll go over whatever makes a difference for you to discuss and talk about inside of your life and what you're dealing and what's going on that could have you looping and you need a little support that might make a difference. So with that, we complete day 11 of 21 days here, and I will see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for being a part of the training. Thank you for being live, watching the replay, doing the homework, giving me the feedback, responding to me, and all the things you do. I do not want you to be so demanding of yourself. Enjoy the process. Take your time. Give yourself grace. Be patient. Don't beat yourself up. Be curious. Be gentle with yourself versus all the things we used to do before that we know don't work and it doesn't provide any benefit for me either. So don't feel bad. I don't want you to feel bad. Don't don't apologize. I don't want you to do that. I would love for you to take advantage of it. And thank you so much, both of you, PJ, Beth. Thank you so much for showing live. Some of you will watch the replay, and I'll complete here tonight. I see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Kisses to all. Have a great night. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.